There we go. Sorry for that scratching noise. I don't know what's up with that. I need to like this button under here so I can switch the mic from one computer to the other computer. I don't know what happens. Something about how the way that it's all hooked up, it like resets itself and I have to swap it back and forth. Okay. Let me get this, my mouse now on the correct. No, yeah, there we go. I don't know what's going on with this. This is crazy. I didn't touch a single thing. I didn't touch any button on the computer and it did that. Alright, so I don't know what you got, what you heard, but after a few USB plugging noises, exactly. I'll keep an eye on this mic thing. Hopefully it doesn't become a problem. Actually, let me pop out this window just so it's a little bit more in view. So what I was saying was that the place in San Francisco, Sportorium, it's like the world's fairground. So that's kind of like one inspiration is maybe doing some sort of oceanside like science museum, kids museum. Out here on the water, in combination with, I was saying, the other thing to do is like in Long Beach, they have the Queen Mary. It's a really huge old cruise ship that they just have parked there, and they have events on it, and I think you can take tours of it because it's like in a really pristine condition or whatever. I don't know. I've actually never been. So I was thinking that this strip right here could be sort of a combination of like convention center, like an event center, slash kind of like kids museum or science center, or like interactive thing where you can go learn about different whatever, I don't know. And then also like maybe a really big ship parked up here like permanently that you can like go on and they have events on it or whatever. Maybe it's like the first ship that sailed around the globe, or I don't know what. So that was the thought. Hopefully we have no more issues with the mic. Good to see it's good to see you all here again. Jedi Master, I think that's Duya. JC Hansman. What up? Hello. You like sci-fi ships? Evametry has a really good one. I was thinking of doing it kind of custom, but maybe that doing it custom involves clipping together some ships. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the assets to do that today. I think I'm just gonna kind of try and focus on the construction of this in a similar way that I did with these two areas and not quite get into the detailing yet. Because I think the detailing required for this is gonna actually end up influencing the detail of these two places since it's all sort of the same complex. So first things first, what I'm gonna do is move this mic away from my face, super close. Yes, it's due, yeah. You'll get your name synced on Twitch soon. It doesn't let you sync your name. It's strange. So, just gonna go like this and then I'll line it up with, move it. Caught my first Sanctum Gamer stream today. Very fun. Email weirdness. Strange. Front. Nice little curve. This basically. I'm gonna delete these roads 'cause it's fine. I need them. Something like that. Now, I think this has to be pretty well, not very wide, but wide enough that you could have like events on it. Obviously not like pathway thickness. Big coffee, yeah. It's massive coffee. Ice latte. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say this is 50 meters wide. Gonna go around to all the nodes, I guess, and do that. Getting weird little frame rate hiccups once in a while. Actually, something that used to happen with my old graphics card. How we all doing today? Is there anyone doing anything fun the weekend? Probably gonna go a nice like outdoor grill for this. Let's use the picker. This is all on the same height. Make sure I even did it right. Getting some local barbecue. No, my actually though, after we talked about that the other day, I did get the barbecue from the place 2 blocks from my house. Oh, it was actually so good. They had this thing. It was called like a suicide or something like that. It was like it's like cornbread with, like, I got it with beef link on top of the cornbread, and then on top of that is some sort of like, it's like Mexican cheese, like the type that you get when you order carnitas, like the really crumbly Mexican cheese, and then some sort of like Mexican sauce. It was so dank. So I'm just gonna do this to get the general vibe of what we're going for here. Maybe that's too big over the water to fill up that whole thing. Like what I want this to feel like is you're on like a pier or a dock. And not like on like a massive man-made platform. So maybe it needs to have like a strip in the center. Like what if I took these same guys, aligned it to height. This is not very pretty, but you're gonna treat yourself with some. What do you mean? What are you talking? Is that a burrito? Something like that. I think this should be. I don't know. Visit Sagallo, the game likes it. Wow, yes it does. Hello, welcome everyone. Templin, what up? Good to have everyone here. What are we working on? Alright. So this is obviously Sagallo. This is around maybe 400 AL. We got the capital in here. This is the federal capital area. We got Embassy Row on the left. You can see some of the names actually. This is my favorite part, the Antares Park. Great stuff. We got the Senate up here. You guys have probably seen all that. But what we're working on right now is Sagallo City Hall, which is this building here, which you might recognize from Templin's Sagallo concept art. So this is in like the background of that concept art that he got, and so we're thinking that this is City Hall. And like all districts in Sagallo, this being one of them right in here, the Sagallo City Hall district, it has city ordinances that require it to also have some residential spaces, some commercial spaces, it kind of be a little development that all kind of looks the same. So what we're working on now is this is the monorail area. This is probably where apartments are, and then down here I was just working on sort of like a convention center, maybe like a kids science museum, and I was thinking there would be like a really large boat that's like permanently parked here, similar to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, how it's like an exhibit almost. So this is going to be sort of like an exhibition hall out here in the water, I'm thinking. But as are all things with city skylines, very much easier said than done. So I don't know, I'm just trying to get the general shape of this and the vibe. I just filled in all of this for a second and realized that that's probably, you want to see some of the water, so I'm making this little railing here in order to, like, we'll fill in the areas around this railing and then leave the middle open so that you can still see the water down below, something like that. Not sure though. I'm sorry, there's so many of you in the chat now, I can't obviously read it all. But Templin, man, how's it going? How's the stream coming? I'm hoping Sagallo hasn't been destroyed yet. That's my main hope. Every stream I get nervous. Something's gonna happen. We have to like nuke the whole entire city. Sagallo is fine, great. Sagallo stance, perfect. Hold on, I need to use the picker. So like just that. And maybe like a third one over here. I'm probably gonna have to go back and respace these out so that they're a little bit more symmetrical. It's like constantly my problem is I place down things and they like look sort of symmetrical at first, and then you start looking at it for longer, and it's like, oh, like it's just a little bit off, and it's so hard to get it to be perfect. Classic. I don't know, you guys, how many of you really play city building games or sandbox games like this? But it's just infinite the amount of headaches and detail you can go into. You're liberating and balkanizing neighboring countries. Perfect. I'm eventually here. We're gonna have to do an episode all about the embassies in Sagallo and all the different interactions you guys have had at Stellaris. That's definitely on the to-do list here. This still isn't quite evenly spaced. Go back to this. Maybe this guy's gotta come in just a bit. I don't know. Big video today, big Templin video. Right? Lots of stuff happening. Lots of Antares things. Now I need to build a hecton of embassy rows. I know. Well, okay, so basically this is the embassy row now, and I just built a bunch of these. This isn't like, I could have done a lot better of a job, at least with the buildings. I just basically placed down random buildings that I had. But I'm planning to go through and delete most of what I've done here, except for the path. I really like the pathway. And get some more specific stuff. Like specific embassies. I'm sure you know this one, but that's the only one that I made that's specific. And we have a lot more room, obviously, on this embassy row too. I can go all the way down to here, so that's definitely on the to-do list. But I'm gonna need some of Mark's help for sure. Yes, the Cloister Embassy. Yes. Cool. So I've been using, there's pillars in here. I'm using these pillars. I'm thinking maybe that's the move. So I explode the group, remake the group, and then move this guy using this one. But I kind of had this like thought in my mind. I'm not sure what this even means, but like some sort of like really sci-fi way that this is being held up. Like I feel like there's more, there could be more like intricate or slightly cooler, I don't know, ways that this is held up other than just like pillars like that. Maglev, we do have this monorail that goes around the entire, oh, this is actually fun. Let's do this real quick. Let's find a vehicle. So this guy goes around the whole entire map. Even, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but it even says Sagallo right here. And he has a bunch of different stations that he goes into, so obviously we just came out of one. And he'll go into one that's over here if we spend forever with them. Maybe there's a closer guy. No, I don't know. There's a couple stations around, but I'm really excited once we have it filled in to get to do some really cool like driving driving on the monorail videos. Like we can go like this, you know. I mean, ignore obviously all these trees. It'll all be fixed up. This is still very early on in the whole entire process of making a city. But it'll be fun watching this, like go into the station. We'll do it real quick. Do the Sims spawn and move? Yeah, so the city is actually super functional. The Sims, like you guys know, the game loves it, which means the Sims love it. It's crazy. The game obviously has certain things that it wants you to accomplish because it's a game, and the way that this city is set up, even though it's very unorthodox for how you're supposed to play the game, Sims love it. They're taking the, you're about to see all these guys get on the monorail. It's a little, they're a little glitchy. They disappear and stuff. But it works somehow. I mean, obviously this isn't what the game looks like out of the box. The graphics of the game normally are really stupid looking. And you have to do a lot to make it look nice. That's thing number one. And then there's also just very cartoonish structures and buildings that come with the base game, and there's a whole entire Steam workshop for things that people have made and released for free just out of the kindness of their heart. Like really cool build, like pretty much everything you're seeing is custom from the workshop, so that's important in order to play the game. But it's fun. You need to kind of have a good computer to play this game. That's one thing for sure, because there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of things that you're seeing. Like in a normal game, you don't necessarily end up seeing 200,000 trees like you're seeing here and 1 million props and buildings. It's kind of, it's a lot of little things, and it makes the computer run a lot slower than you would hope. Kind of sucks, but it's the price you pay. Yes, very processor heavy, for sure. Graphics card barely means anything for this game. It's all about your processor, and it's also a big part of it is your RAM, because this game loads all these different assets into your RAM. So the more RAM you have, the more things you can actually play with. So that's a big part of it, for sure. You know, this is looking far ahead, but will you and Templin be collaborating again? We have not discussed it. We don't. We still have quite a ways to go with this project. Oops. So we'll see. But there's much to do here in Sagallo. We're hoping to get some developers into the city. That's one thing for certain. We've started the process of it. It's a big process, but hopefully we've set it up in a way where we can get some people helping to build the city and adding their cool spin to it. Eventually, you guys will hear an announcement about that, but that's a ways off. Anyone I can name? Well, obviously you know Skip. And other than that, no. But it'll be great. We'll get the city looking a lot more full, a lot more quick. That's the idea. I would love to start filming some train ride video. I'm just so excited to like ride on that train around the city. You guys have no idea. It'd be so fun. Wait, this is still not even. It's all still looking wonky. I'm so bad at making things look symmetrical. So it's like just barely wonky. You can like not really notice it, but if you look at it long enough, it's like, oh, those things aren't really where they should be. Something more like that. It really just needs to be the same distance from all the pathways, I think is the way to do it. Just try, whoops, try and get it somewhat like that. Is it just you, or is the sand and sky wave bright? Yeah, the graphic settings are made a little bit for more when you're looking in this kind of area. Usually we're not looking at the ocean, so I apologize. I can actually turn down the brightness while we're working over here. I think that'll help a lot. Is that a little better? It's all about changing the graphic settings constantly. Great move. No, it is actually. Yes, everyone thinks it's better. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, we because when we were setting up this project, we weren't really worrying about these beaches too much. We were more focused on how the trees look and how the mountains look, and that's where we were doing a lot of the original building. And as you can tell, like the beaches, we didn't do anything to practically. Like we were working when we were working on the map, we were working on the ridges and up at the tops and stuff. So this area didn't really get much attention, and you can, especially with the graphics settings, we weren't really calibrating them for this area. This is looking a little bit more even for sure. Why don't we try filling it in and see how that looks? So some ploppable surfaces. Is the right one? Oh yeah, well it's dark. I was like, why is it so dark? And I was like, oh yeah, duh, we just turned down the graphic settings. What's that cool boat that keeps coming around? This thing up in the sky? So basically the system that we have for transportation in this game requires that whenever you build a building, that it has access to a nearby road, and that's just so that the game can function, so that there's a lot of mechanics, like there's delivery vehicles and the shops run out of goods, and their trash accumulates and things like that. So everything needs road access, and in a normal city, that means you just place down regular looking city roads, because obviously this is a city building game. But what we've done here is put all of our roads in the sky and have them lead into these air hangars. So all of our functional buildings are inside of here, and that's kind of how we get away with, actually I can show you. So if we turn this off, you can see this is a little bit more similar to maybe if you've played City Skylines, what you recognize is regular roads. These are buildings that represent real buildings. This isn't, they're called block services. So this is residential buildings. These are commercial buildings. And these are office buildings. And then we have some city services over here. So we kind of have to use our imagination with this. This is just a way of getting things functioning in the way that we want to. So in our imagination, what we're going to say is, obviously there's apartments in these big, buildings here. There's shops along the top, and those blocks represent those, basically. Someone pointed out the flying police car. Yes. We don't have all of the models that we need in order to make this system 100% done yet. So we have some. This is an ambulance, this is a bus. We have a few, but there's a few custom models that we don't yet have. So the police car is one of them, and the hearse is another one. So you might see some hearses flying around still, but it's a work in progress still. Getting all those, that meant someone had to sit in a 3D modeling software program and make that thing from scratch. That's how every single one of those vehicles got made. Some people reached out a while ago, I believe, after I made that announcement video about the series. I think I said, if you want to make custom vehicles, you can help make them, and that's what that turned into, is a lot of those. So a lot of that is thanks to Duya, who was here on the stream before you guys all came. He's probably still here. They are probably still here. If you guys are interested in 3D modeling and want to get involved, that's a good way. We still need police, and we still need death care. Those are the last two really that we need, and then they'll all be the correct. We won't have any police cars flying around in the sky. Would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm actually realizing, I'm not sure if it's a huge problem, but basically these things I'm placing down are see-through from the bottom. As you can see them from this side, but not from here. I don't know how often we'll be down here, but maybe just to be safe, I should actually place down something that's two-sided here. Can we write the flying police cars into the lore? That's a good question. Maybe you can. Sagallo is weird. Yeah, it's a little wacky. But in the circumstance that they found themselves in, they had to improvise, and they got themselves an opportunity to build a city from scratch, given a lot of the stuff that we would have learned up until that point. So we've made mistakes in our Earth cities. We know you want a good public transportation system. You want to have nature in your cities, and so the city planners here took that into consideration when they got the chance to basically make a city from scratch, or plan for a city from scratch. So there's some wacky stuff, but it all ends up ideally making a very nice place to live. The game loves it. That's what the game thinks. The game thinks it's a great place. Like, there's a metric in the game, land value, that like basically tells you like how good an area is. You can see it here. I mean, this is max. This is as high as it goes. And usually you don't get areas looking like this until you have like a very large city. Definitely more than 12,000 people. So whatever's going on here, they like it. That's for sure. This is just some sort of decking, just so that when we're underneath it, you know. It's valuable because it's made out of uranium, because of that color, you mean? Yeah, I know, it's a pretty wild color. And also, like, the custom graphics settings I have make it wilder. Like, the base game is a lot more muted and, like, kind of sepia than how we have it here. We've done quite a lot of work to get the game looking as it does. Like, I'll just show you an example. Like, I'm using like 5 or 6 different mods, but like, let's go over here. So this is turning on and off just one of them. How big of a difference that is? So there's even more that get us like wildly in a different direction of how the game looks. So that's the reshade. That's actually not even technically a mod. A lot of mods that are from the Steam Workshop, but reshade is a. You guys probably know it from other games as well. It's like a program that runs over an entire other program and puts like filters and stuff on the entire program. So like most mods don't affect the UI, but that one actually changes the colors and stuff of the UI and everything. Interesting. The ocean is so blue compared to vanilla. Yeah, definitely. There's also options. There's a mod, the theme mixer mod, where you can change the watercolor. So like, I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, it's along the shore over there. See that? Changing the shore color. I don't know. Bunch of stuff you can do. Change how everything looks. So for this giant boat on display, I'm kind of imagining, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's this like concept boat. It's a container ship, concept container ship, but it's a sailboat. Like massive. It's like got the hugest sails ever. I remember reading an article about it, and they were like talking about how the sails are like so big that you gotta it's like a slightly different atmospheric pressure than a normal sailboat, and there's different wind currents when the sail is like 500 feet in the air, and it's like a whole big engineering thing. But whatever, I don't know, it's supposed to be the shipping container ship of the future. I don't know, I was just thinking that if you guys have seen what that looks like, it's such a cool looking ship. It's got like these absolutely massive sails. I mean, it's a sailboat. So that's sort of what I was thinking. Doing it maybe like parked like here, like really big, huge sails. It is tedious. Yes, this is. It's tedious work playing this game, for sure. I think it's called Ocean Bird. Yeah, maybe. The thing about this game is also you can make it as tedious as you want to. You know, obviously you can put more or less work into builds. Obviously I could have gone with what I previously had just put down where it's one-sided, and it's like, okay, whatever, it's just one-sided. But you know, maybe I personally want to get shots from the underside of it. Can't do that if it's one-sided. The sea needs to be named. Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, the whole around the whole entire we got I mean, it's really, this whole entire place is going to be interacting with the sea, you know? This is just one district. We've got so many districts that have ocean access. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening with this sea, I'd imagine. Lots of different piers and things sticking out into it, and different beaches and outdoor areas and views of it. Lots of different like trails up above where you can get a nice view of the ocean, that kind of stuff. That's one of the wonderful things about making a city in this game that has water. It's like an island, or you know, basically an island, a peninsula like this. Is the edge of the map is pretty wacky when there's terrain, you know, and you just see like the edge. It's much more natural looking when you got like a horizon line of water. That looks pretty natural, you know. Will there be industrial areas? Yes, there will be industrial areas. So I'll show you. There's basically we have all these districts, right? And this area back here where there's no districts, I'm thinking is basically the industrial part of the city. So this backside of the mountain, and we'll probably do like a cargo monorail line, something along those lines, that goes over the swamp and connects to the edge of the map. And that will connect to kind of this cargo hub. So I'm imagining maybe in the center here is sort of a distribution center. Some really large air hangars where, you know, airplanes, air vehicles can fly in and out and pick up cargo and bring them to other parts of the, you know, island. And then there's probably going to be some manufacturing back here as well, and maybe even some mining still going on, because I think that's a big part of Sagallo's history is the mining that's been happening here over the years. Spaceport, perhaps? Perhaps. Or maybe less a spaceport and more a space vehicle manufacturing facility. Something like that. I don't know, we'll see. That's kind of a long ways off, though, to be honest. I think we need to get the front side of the city much more finished than it is now before we can move back there. See if we can do multiple at a time. Really. Yes. This just sucks because I'm probably going to end up covering this up also. This is just for when you're looking at it from the bottom. Do you have a favorite existing district or future district you're most excited about? We haven't done all that many districts. I would say my favorite thing right now that's been done is a couple interior monorail stations that we've made. I think it's going to be really cool doing monorail rides, and I also really like this Antares park, which now that we're over here is way too dark. So I just love the way this thing looks. Very cool. Ships flying over it. I think we're facing the wrong way. It's supposed to be like this, right? But it's cool, like watching people walk around on these paths, you know? It's like super functional. There's like a stream going through it. So this is like kind of the center of this city to some extent. Like we'll have quite a few different paths leading off of here that go to different places. This would be all on the postcards of the city, exactly. We also have a couple other really picturesque locations, like this in here, you know, with the statue in the lake and these big hangars with the waterfalls. Obviously a great one. I really like this building, the courts, with these escalators going up like really crazy. And then we also have this area. Ooh, big frame rate drop. Also have this area over here, which is Fan and Banza's modern day facilities. So this is kind of fun. We got like an air hangar underneath, ships flying in, some I made these trees that kind of like are on display here, because obviously this is the place where they were invented. You like the court? Yes, I like the court as well. The court's cool. So this is all kind of like a single development here, all sort of based on that original design style of their original spot, or their original little laboratory. But now obviously a lot of this is apartments. You know, we got some like outdoor areas, some tennis courts, and then the genetic engineering stuff happens more on the right side and at the bottom. Blends in well with the trees. Yeah, it almost blends in like too well. Like, I do like how this new area over here like really stands out, you know? I like that. Let's get back to this. How'd you even start with a project like this? There's nothing at all normal about this city. Yeah, well, I had been thinking about fun ways to kind of like, you know, break the game, if you will. Like different exploits that could be explored and systems. Because in my Mars series, my other YouTube series, there's a different sort of replacement for how the road system works. Because the road system is kind of the most fundamental thing about the game. In that one, it's all conveyor belts, and I wanted to try and figure out another cool take on transportation. So I was thinking flying vehicles with some invisible roads, you know, could be a cool way to do that. Not sure if I'd ever really seen that, specifically because there aren't any like all the flying vehicles that get made for this game are function as airplanes, which is different than how we're using them here. We're using them here as roads and as cars and buses and trucks, and they just look like flying vehicles. So there wasn't anything on the Steam Workshop. No one has ever made things like that look like air vehicles but function as cars. So we had to get that all custom made. You could see yourself living in this city. Yeah, I would honestly love living in this city, because the concept is like, you know, let's say this is full of apartments and shops and things. I assume the people you live with in this little insular area, maybe you know them pretty well because you all share like some common rooms in the apartment complex. They're your neighbors, and there's not very many ways for that to connect to another area. Like in this area, there's only one path that goes this way, one path that goes that way, one path that goes that way. You can take the monorail, or you can take an air taxi. And so it's kind of insular, but at the same, you know, kind of community minded, but at the same time, you're almost everywhere has a monorail connection. You can get to almost anywhere pretty quickly. So that's why I would like to live there, at least. Very nice. Got some Z fighting. Except by just lowering that. Cityscapes, what up, buddy? How's it going? Yes, so many viewers. It's Templin rated a bunch of people because he, I believe, just finished streaming, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, we have all the Stellaris Invicta viewers here today. Good to have you guys all. Thank you for dropping by and seeing what's been going on, because there's been quite a lot going on with this city that you guys haven't seen. I might try and figure out a way to get more content out to you guys in regards to this, because we have it set up now. You guys haven't seen a lot in a while. It takes a while to make those episodes in the way that we have been, you know, with filming a lot of cinematics and getting classic Templin narration. So I don't know, maybe there's, other than live streaming, maybe there's a way to show you guys more. Is this a lot? Yes, well, City Skylines is not, in case you didn't know, is not very popular on Twitch at all. It's, especially the way that I'm playing it. Like, most of the other people who live stream on Twitch, City Skylines stuff, play the game without mods, and are doing things a little bit more conventionally. I'm not sure if there's much of a market here on Twitch for detailing cities, but you know, Twitch is just so much easier to live stream on. I kind of have been having, I was live streaming on YouTube for a while, and I'm probably going to continue doing it here and there, but it's people get confused because obviously my channel is mostly for posting videos, and so they kind of get sort of confused and angry about live streams. And it might just be easier to kind of separate it out, I'm thinking. Even though it's not ideal, even though Twitch isn't the best place for City Skylines, YouTube really is. It's nice over here. I saw someone streaming City Skylines the other day who had like 600 or 700 viewers. It was like nuts. I was like so surprised, and I realized it was because you know, those like, you're like a variety streamer, they're like really usually very attractive people, you know. It was like one of those people who's like playing the game for the first time, or maybe for like one of the first times. Not someone who plays regularly. So I don't know, I'll try and hide that. Seems weird people would get angry. Yeah, well, I think the thing is, like, when I post a live stream on YouTube, it pings you, right? So, a lot of people who sign up for my videos on YouTube are doing so for the videos, and they don't want to get pinged about a live stream. So, I can understand it. I mean, not that I agree, but I can understand it. People are, you know, I get it. Like, you know, I don't like getting notified about things that I don't want to be notified about. It's super annoying. I don't want to be pissing people off. Which is better for live streaming than YouTube, definitely, 100%. I mean, it's just so great the how easy it is to go live as opposed to YouTube. Like, it's just so many things you got to do on YouTube in order to get yourself live. How many views do you have on an average live stream? Well, to be honest, I've only really been live streaming on Twitch for the last like week and a half here. But I would say it's like pretty rare for any City Skylines stream to get more than like 15 or 20, you know? But that's just, I think, because the City Skylines community is mainly on Reddit and on YouTube. It's, I don't think it just comes down to where people who play this game watch stuff from. You know what's weird now that we've got this filled in? Is I made this the double the width of that. It's like, why did I do that? Should probably somehow fix this. With the way that the city looks, we need to get Utopian Abundance in Stellaris. Yeah, Stellaris. Yeah, you guys, Mark for sure needs to up his game. I'm just kidding. But yes, that is the vibes. It's Utopia vibes for sure. I'm gonna make these crossings a little skinnier. But ideally it matches a little bit better. Something like that. And just bring these in a little closer. I feel like that's gonna feel a little better in comparison to that over there. Get these lined up. That's a little better, right? I think that's a little better. I'm not sure if I even need this area on the left, but maybe keep it. Oh, it's like all screwed up. Look at it. It's like all wonky. I'm actually just gonna get rid of this. Enter group. Delete. Just have it kind of be on one side. Literally just do like that. Ba-ba-ba. Would be a good place for a monument. That's a good thought actually. Maybe we can expand that back out just a bit. It would be a good place for a monument. I agree. I am really not liking the look of these piers underneath. What I was imagining was like a sci-fi version of like you know, like a classic wharf where there's or like a pier where there's just like an obscene amount of wooden pillars underneath. I was imagining like that, but like a sci-fi version somehow. Like just really a lot of supports underneath is my thought. Like if I took this thing and like did a bunch of them or something like that. What am I building right now? Yes, so this is, yeah, a promenade, almost basically exactly. So my thought was that, so this is City Hall. This is a apartment complex that's part of the same development, apartment shops. And then my thought was that this would be similar to like an exposition center, or possibly like a science museum, kids science. Maybe there's a part of it that is a kids science museum, or maybe they have rotating events. It's like a expo hall. And then I was also thinking that we would park like a really large permanent ship here. That was almost like a display. You could maybe take tours of it. Maybe they had events on the ship. I'm sort of thinking that this is like, I don't know if you've been to downtown Long Beach, or like, because they have like the Queen Mary parked there. So that was one thought. Or like in San Francisco, they have the where the World's Fair was, and it's now called the Exploratorium, I believe, where they it's like a kids science museum. So those were the two things I was sort of thinking of. This is a very cool pillar. Yes, I agree. So I just need to figure out a cool way that I can start copying and pasting these. Like actually, I need to edit this so that it can make sure that they're always all the way to the ground, you know? Like that. And it would be cool if it was like even more complicated than this in some way, like it had some sort of thing going in other directions. Like, okay. Copy, paste. So like if I did this, but maybe raised up this bottom part. Can I mirror it? Yeah, I can definitely mirror it, I thought. So I don't know, maybe something like this where it's sort of like attached to the other one. Like maybe we go, oops, get me out of here. Copy, paste. that. Do a bunch of those. Any plans for HQ of the Antares Armed Forces? There is one right here. This is it. Antares Defense building. Mainly towards the top. And then they also got like the federal commons down here, but down below. So I'd imagine maybe there's like a food hall down here, something like that. Some additional offices. We have a monorail station in here. Let's ride this guy into the station real quick. Always fun. Like that. I love how these vanilla stations have screens and everything. People love it. So 24 people on it right now. We'll see how many people get on. 68. Would I add a war memorial or war museum? Yeah, definitely. That could be cool. For sure. For sure. Oh, this isn't really perfect, huh? Intergroup. Be like that. I don't know about this whole thing, to be honest. Oh. Delete this group. And copy paste this one. Perhaps a memorial / monument to the Earhart. That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely. And make a row of supports. Yes, that's the idea. Attempt to make a row of supports, or at least evenly spaced supports. If I can, I can do it. Like that. Like, this isn't cool enough, though, to be honest. I was imagining, like, even more... You know how, like, a pier is? Like, how there's just, like... It's more like this, like, everywhere? Like, that's sort of what I'm thinking it needs to be like. Are there diagonal supports? I mean, yeah, we can make anything, basically, but, I think this piece is the one to make it all out of. Like, what if I make multiple of them? Maybe like rotate it 180. Kind of maybe go back and forth, you know? Like that. Maybe do a... I mean, underwater, I guess we're not going to see. I feel like that's probably... It's better. It is, that is better. Go on this side, too. And then maybe what I can do is... let me leave this group, copy paste. I can literally just connect them up to each other. That's more the pattern. These PO skills or something. Thanks, I've had a lot of practice. Simon, who's the guy who made PO, is actually usually here on the stream. The legend. PO is procedural objects. That's this mod that I'm using that has all these little pluses. It's also this button, procedural objects. It's a add-on that lets you do like much more custom stuff. It lets you butcher assets. Yeah, so someone makes a, I don't know, that thing, this thing right here that I just was using. And I can use procedural objects to pull the bottom down taller. I can use procedural objects to flip it upside down. None of that stuff is possible without the mod. Simon, yes, there he is. Simon, hello. Genius right there. So Simon in the chat, that's who invented this entire, encoded this entire mod. Speak of the devil. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you again. It's I love when that happens. When I'm talking about something and the person happens to type up. Great. How's that look? Does that look any better? It's almost like too much now that you can't really see through it. Black Fox, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna try this again. It's 72. Procedural objects, oh my god. I'm going a little nuts here. Enter group, okay. I think I'm gonna quit with, so basically I'm gonna get rid of these 4. Take these 4, copy, move to, turn them this way, and just try going in one direction. Maybe pull out every second one. I think that would theoretically make sense, yes, but what I want is for it to feel like a classic pier where it's like really supported underneath the whole thing with a bunch of different, that's sort of the feeling that I wanted to get. I think part of what's making this not feel quite right is I don't like the way that how wide these supports are. Like if I took that part and brought it in, maybe did that with more of them, could help. Maybe I'm just butchering it even more. But you know, see how we're exposing a little bit more of the trussing? Oops. So yeah, all this is procedural objects, what we're doing. So that's kind of the thought. Grimstone, what up? I saw you were streaming on the nature server. Use the triangular supports in triangular patterns like a bridge. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but I do obviously generally know what you mean, that bridges use that, but I just don't know how to apply that here. Let's see how this works. Let's see how this looks. This is sort of more the vibe I was going for, where you can still see through it a good amount. It's more like a trellis or whatever. I don't, what's the word? Like, you know, like under a pier. Like your classic pier, like with wooden supports. Kind of like that better. Like, okay, so what if I take this? How does it look if I go over here too? How does it look from the other side? It's just experimentation. Over here as well. And over here. Not terrible. Cityscapes. See you later, buddy. Regular pier, except standing dozens of meters above the water on Titanic pillars. Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of cool. It's like kind of a crazy honeycomb pattern. What I do want to do is take all these, make them into a single group, and I want to darken them. They match a little bit better. Enter group. All right. I'm hoping this turns out cool. We're still like, oops, almost knocked over my coffee there. We're still, I mean, this is the third stream in a row here working on this city hall. And we're autosaving. And I'm still just working on the structure of it. Like usually at this point in the time I would be kind of detailing, you know, getting it looking a little bit more like a thing instead of just like a platform here. But it's a big build, I guess. Is it possible to make the top spars thinner? That might help the bottom view. You're talking about the platform itself, maybe? I'm not sure what you mean. It was a message from a little while ago. Alrighty, now that the autosave is done, continue putting these things back. I think maybe here on the end we'll do like one like that. Like it's everywhere, but we're not actually gonna put it everywhere. We're just putting it at the visible areas. This thing is really high off the water, actually. We might end up having to lower this whole build because it's kind of like 30 feet up there. If that doesn't work, maybe try triangular hexagonal patterns. I am very limited by what I have in this game. So the game is obviously, you know, there's certain assets that people make, and so this asset happened to be one of them. But a lot of things just like either don't exist because no one's made them, or are, let me use a different set of, or I don't have them and I have to go to the Steam Workshop and reload the game. Why is there a gap between all of these? Copy. And so like it's not really feasible to go and get that right now because obviously it's restarting the game. And you believe it or not, there's not a lot of like simple shapes. People like to make more complicated things and put that out on the Steam Workshop, as opposed to, God, lost the height. I have to copy this again. People like to make, you know, like a model of an actual real stadium that like exists in real life and it's really detailed and cool and intricate. But that doesn't help in builds like this because it's rare that I would use that exact stadium in the exact way that they present it to you or whatever. It's gonna be cool when it's done, I hope. It's always like, you know, you start a build and you're kind of in this like conceptual building the structure of it phase, at least with these types of builds, and you're like, oh man, is this gonna be cool? And then at the very, very end, after everything's done, you can kind of start like placing, you know, like lights and benches and get people walking through and placing tree, you know, little bushes along the pathways and trash cans and stores and making it all look really realistic. And that's when it's like, oh yeah, it's all coming together now. But at this phase of the process, it's like, wait, what am I even doing? Just throwing together random shapes. Hoping it works. I mean, I do like it actually. I think it's the right look. I think it's cool. Crossing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm happy with how it's looking. I'm gonna finish out this side. Probably this guy, just cheat him in a bit. We can get it right up to the edge. You love detailing, but you've never created anything like this with lots of hidden paths and prop platforms. Yeah, that's what a lot of my Mars series is too. It's different for sure, but it's a very fun way to play because you can make things that obviously you'd never be able to otherwise. What is this corner gonna work? It's gotta be more like that. I'll move this path in to, oops. Kind of cover up the edge. We actually probably will have to go around and make a whole edge for this whole entire thing. Like some sort of railing, maybe. East. Entices you to try at least. Create some pretty cool elevated train stations, so I guess that's similar to for now. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of times it's more this is really wonky. A lot of times it's like more difficult to make something that's supposed to be realistic because there's you know exactly what it's supposed to look like. You know what the details are supposed to be. There's a lot more different types of things in real life than there are in sci-fi. At least like things that you can think of off the top of your head that should go in this in an area. You obviously know it and you live it. So sometimes making sci-fi stuff is a little bit easier. This is really screwed up, but maybe we won't notice it because it's just one corner and it's kind of hidden. Good to have you all here today. Nice of Templin to do this. I'm glad you guys are all fans of Templin. Not all of you, but obviously. I'm sure there's some of you who aren't, but welcome, welcome. It's very cool that you all are so interested in what's going on here. Building of this city. It's going to be a very cool city. That's one thing for sure. It's just you know, it takes longer than I mean, as you can see with what's going on here. It takes longer. It takes a really long time to build something in the city. Obviously, we're just working on one little tiny portion right now, and it's taking for freaking ever. Like we have so much more to do. Looks like reinforcement support under something really heavy under that corner, even though it probably is temporary. Yeah, maybe that corner is highly reinforced. I think it's the kind of thing where like once the whole build comes together, you won't really notice that. It'll just look like the corner, you know, even from a distance, you don't really notice it quite as much. I love these triangles though. It's really a cool pattern that's coming together here. Jedi Master in the chat is the one who actually made all these support props in Blender. So thank you. They're incredible. I use them everywhere. The whole pack is incredible. It's awesome seeing your stuff used. Oh yeah, it's fun using it. So, at a certain point here, I can probably stop the supports. Maybe not. I should just. It looks like we got one support here that's not supposed to be. The old types. It's hard. It's always hard to get a sense of the scale, how big something is. Like maybe let's just put a few people props here, just so we can like see what's up, sort of. Get an idea. People can probably actually just end up staying where they are. They're always standing there. But it's actually smaller than I was thinking it was. Convention centers are usually very big, but I guess it's still pretty big. Anime girl for scale? I don't have any of those anime people subscribed to. There are a bunch of anime people you can get and have walking around your city though, that's for sure. So, is that how Puex and Nile have it? They have anime people walking around? There's like a whole pack of those. Someone really wanted that in their city. Very sleepy puppy in the background. You can probably see. It might be really small, but there's a dog right there. Very sleepy. Another lazy afternoon for a puppy. We got this bird feeder like a few weeks ago. In the last 2 days, the birds finally found out about it and they've started going crazy. They all come here now. My dog loves it. She just like stands underneath them and looks up at them and wags the whole time. The face cam is so small, it's iconic. Yeah, well, no one needs to get a good look at me, right? My dog is super well behaved. She's a very good dog. Yes. She's a little old, that's part of it. A little sleepy dog. But she is very well behaved. I'll be off leash and stuff. Super chill. Not going anywhere. Missing one over here. Getting there. This is the kind of stuff that like I think is really interesting to try and think about how to set this up. I think it's whoa, this is so janky. I think it's takes a lot of thought and it's like kind of cool process, but I'd imagine that the detailing, seeing how it comes together at the end, maybe is a little more fun. I'm always on the fence about this step in the process. How interesting it is in a stream. I think it's interesting. I would be interested, but I also this is what I like doing, so I don't know. Alrighty. Getting so close. You've got this on the side because you like the series, but detailing is what's fun to watch. Yeah, I agree. But it's not all detailing. What I should do is just get Skib in here to do all the detailing for me, because that's what I'm like, feel like I'm the worst at. And I feel like Skib is always struggling with this kind of stuff. I'm trying to get him to come in here and help me with this build. It's funny, there's another city building game that just got released like this week called like Paris Architect, and obviously Skibeth is making a Paris city. That's like his main thing, and it's funny that they just made an entire game, and the only thing that you do in the game is you make only Paris. It's like made for Skib. The brightness is way too bright over here again. Hold on, let me turn this down. Much better. My bad. Sorry about that. A Skib Architect. So this thing right here, these little platforms are supposed to be where there's an elevator. Like if you didn't want to walk up these massive stairs, it's like a little animated elevator. I gotta add in another one of those. It's a whole thing. Show you what it's supposed to look like. So up here we got them. Like that. You know, he goes up and down the side. There's one on either side of the pathway. That's what we'll have to do at the bottom as well. But nice, just about finished up all this trussing. It was a whole thing and a half. Is there anywhere I'm missing? Right there. But I think that's it. Oh, right there. Almost done. Almost done. Copy paste. We actually thought it was escalators. It's escalators in some places, but this particular slope is not very steep. It's like steep enough where you could feasibly walk up this without stairs. There are stairs if you wanted to, and also like if you're like an old person, like you can just take the elevator or whatever. But I think most people walk. It's probably quicker to walk. Kind of more of a handicap thing. So what I'm going to do, well, how am I gonna, maybe, I should probably use the same railing for the edges, the entire thing. That, you know? That's what I'm gonna do next. Make a railing system. So, right here. And then the Electrics Road Tool mod, you can add nodes. This one to here. Another node. These two ones. Thanks for following, Sneaky Carolita. Thank you. So like that. And then at this corner. We'll just do this around the whole thing. That'll be good. I feel like it will have to, we will have to figure out something in the corner, and also what's up with the texture. Like, I don't know if that's what I need. I don't know if I should go with this texture, or with a entirely different texture for the whole top. From a flight safety perspective, this place is pretty scary because you're right under the flight paths. I mean, yeah, the thing is, this whole city is going to have things flying around up above you. So, I'm sure they have it very well set, you know. The journeys here are very close. There's 1.5 million places to land. Always land in the water. There's an emergency. So, I don't know. Yes, I agree with you, but at the same time, I think it's very normal in the city. I think generally, it's a pretty safe thing that's going on with these air traffic, the air traffic. Yeah, the better flying technology. There's a whole kind of style guide for how these, not style, yeah, I guess it's engineering, I don't know, basically V Merrick, who's been one of my mods for a long time, he's an aerospace engineer, and he helped design all these flying vehicles from an aerospace perspective. So in theory, they all actually do fly, given certain advancements in technology. I think he made it so that the engines are more powerful than they would be in real life or something along those lines. But there is a whole school of thought about how the air traffic in this city works and how it's designed and what type of propulsion it uses and you know, that kind of thing. Very cool. We're almost done here, aren't we? With the rim, at least, I mean. I have to be a little fudged here and there. Hopefully it's not noticeable from a distance. That's the railing that goes up the center of this pathway. And this pathway, flipping into these stairs down at the bottom. Not ideal. What am I gonna do about that? I think I have to add a node. There. Might have to add another node on that guy. Something like that. It's not perfectly straight, but good enough from a distance, I think. And one more rimming, edge piece, whatever, here. I'm gonna try and ignore the walkways scaled up 1000%. What do you mean? Oh, this down here? Is that what you mean? These are your props, this piece underneath here. Yes, that actually is true. What am I gonna do about these corners? Actually, this whole build is your stuff, isn't it? All these pieces. What I'm gonna do about these corners is I'm basically just gonna make a small one of these. Oops, wrong button. Recenter object origin. Copy paste. Like that. The dome props and buildings are going to be useful here. Oh yeah, big time. Super useful. Cannot wait. Today's build looks super cool. Zoomed out in that massive stairway. I wasn't here to watch, but it looks awesome too. Yeah, thanks, man. This is gonna be a cool build, I think, when it all comes together. I think it's gonna be very cool. So we'll have to put a bunch of like stuff on this platform down here and make it like a expo center. It's obviously not gonna happen today though. I mean, maybe, but I have some things I have to do this afternoon. Can't be doing this all day. Copy paste. Oops, I pressed C. Paste. Cool. So that's basically the structure of things. I'm down to keep going, but I need to take like a 5-minute break, if you guys don't mind. So set up the camera here. Where? I'll be back in just a few. Put it right. That, I guess. All right, guys. I will be back in like 5 minutes. See you in a sec. Hey. Sorry about that. Thanks for sticking around real quick while I got up, used the bathroom, went outside, got a little fresh air real quick. Much better. Probably gonna have to leave in about half hour, maybe. But in the meantime, I think what I should focus on is the surface of this. It's not gonna look like this. I don't think this tiling is right. I think this is more right, but I think I don't know. Let's experiment though. And I also want to put some PPGs, which are park people generators inside here, so people walk out here, but that requires me to paint this park district just a little bit bigger. That. Zinger, not burger. Later, buddy. Glad you had a good time. Take it easy. It was fun seeing a little bit of oh well. So let me try first basically taking all these and just lowering them a little bit. And what do we have here? We have some gaps. Does that look better, that surface though? I feel like not necessarily. Another option is like a ploppable surface network. I have to be 216, so let's align this to that height. Up, yep. Let's only work with. So just get the whole thing basically like that and just lose sci-fi texture. So hard to select next time. There we go. So like that. Like it's paved almost. My thought here is I think the paving isn't the move. I think these pathways, go back to selecting only the pathways. Oh, no. Maybe should go back up. Maybe what I should do is put them in the middle, or not. Maybe what I should do is make them skinnier and have them just go around the edge or something and leave this middle part like maybe fenced off or separated or something, so that these are 3 different areas that are the different texture. I'm having a hard time, like, it's kind of, so it's like really abstract phase of it. It feels that way. It's like putting things together without like seeing what they're looking like. So then like maybe one of these sections, make it glass. The whole thing. I think you're walking on glass. Glass is definitely possible, for sure. Maybe there is sections that are glass. Something. With all skinnier paths, it's all gonna have to get fixed. Class is for sure possible. But so the other thing I was thinking was like an inner one. So taking this and stretching it out around this whole thing, and then having a couple of connections between them. So you might have, I don't know how, I feel like a lot of this space should be like perhaps empty at the moment. Like maybe there's a thing happening on one section, like we have them in plots or whatever. Thing happening on one section, an empty middle section, or I don't know exactly. I'll have to think on that because that won't happen today. Definitely not the same shape. Both sides, not ideal. But I'm not sure if you'll notice. Maybe you could tell I'm not amazing with like precision in this game. Some people are really precise about things. And like I think I'm gonna have to go cleaning this up some once it gets finished, like making that piece the same width as that piece. And maybe like I'm going like, I don't know. Maybe even like just paths. Kind of gives it a slightly more interesting pattern at least. And I like giving Sims the option to walk more places. Kind of cool seeing them take different routes. You're thinking the bluish sections would be glass. Oh, like in the middle? I feel like it's kind of cool to see down to the water, not have a separation between you and that. I do. That's the thing about this build. I've actually had this dilemma a number of different times in a number of different places where my first instinct is, yes, glass would be super cool here. Glass is really futuristic. Down with the glass. And then like I start putting it down and I'm like, you know, I'm placing like a glass barrier between where people are and where nature is. I feel like you wanna be close to nature. I feel like that's I don't know, you don't want that separate. So I've like keep trying to place down glass in different places, and then usually that happens and I'm like, maybe glass isn't the move here, and all of a sudden now there's like not all that much glass in this city, to be honest. Even though it feels like a place that should have a lot of glass based off the rest of the aesthetic. Mandated by the Health and Safety Commission that there's glass. I'm imagining this is like I don't know, like Fisherman's Wharf for like I don't know, some of these places that like it's almost a tourist attraction. The fact that you're on the water or whatever. Got an issue. Gap. Just a very even gap around the whole thing. So, a few more paths. Boom. Boom. I kind of like dividing it up like this. Kind of a nice look. I think it could even be divided more. You know? Still some gaps to fill in here and there. On the left, definitely. I hate that area. I don't know what I'm gonna do over there. Just having even more more lines to move. Paths. Yeah, I feel like yeah, because what we'll do, I think maybe what I'll do is upgrade these to the bridge version so it has fences around. And then I'm thinking I'm taking like a 2 guy, no fence. Making a little entry like that. So each of these is like a little section that like can have a different thing. And we put like, I don't know, different tents or whatever. Or stalls or exhibits. Things like that. Wow, that is a great thing for a build-off. Holy crap, we should definitely do that. Set that up. Nobody let me forget about that. Whoever's watching. We gotta have each of you able to submit a little area for this thing. It'd be cool. Right? It's so small. It's just a little exhibit. Very, very small. See how it's like the size of a house? It'd be cool. So let me take this in bridge mode and upgrade like all this basically. Just use the wrong path. Could be cool PO skills contest. Exactly, it has to be all PO. And what's it called? The park generators paths. And like there's so many of them too. Like that's fun. So many different spaces. You need to keep drawing some more. Like Pike Palace Market in Seattle. Yeah, sure, like that. Maybe like for museum exhibits. What is going on? Something's happening with my game. I think everything just crashed. Well, that marks the end of the stream, I guess. Probably the end of the, I probably gotta go back to an autosave, just lost a bunch of work, that sucks. No, we're back. Wow, I'm gonna save. And I'll finish this up. Man, don't you love that? That's why I keep autosave on. Because at least I would only have to go back like 15 minutes. And I also already know exactly what to do. Get much quicker. Saving. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish up with these paths and call it a day, I think, here. So just a little while longer. I'm gonna do, oops. Maybe I won't do the entrances on every single one yet. That. Alright guys, great. Well, it's not the prettiest thing, but I think it's the foundation for something cool. The layout of this district is pretty fucking crazy. Let me real quick delete this. See there. Kind of cool, I think. It's gonna be cool when we have all sorts of stuff on it. I think maybe bring in some of this white theme is necessary. It's too gray. Let me just see real quick. Even that's better. Please don't get any whiter. More of the white theme. I'm thinking a big ship parked right there. It's gonna be cool. We'll have to do something really naturey in here. I think add rocks and just detail it, rocks and some grasses and little bushes and flowers and things. I think we kind of also have to decide at some point is this really what our shore is going to look like, or should it all look like this? Do a ship and build a dock so it looks like the like you could actually board it. Yes, that's the plan. That's exactly the plan. I'm thinking it's like a an exhibit almost, like you could have events there, or I don't know, maybe you could stay there, maybe there's hotel rooms inside of it or something. I don't know exactly, but some sort of large, like Queen Mary in Long Beach is mainly what I'm thinking as an example of the type of thing. Have a cruise ship like permanently parked there, a historical one, and they have like events and stuff. And yeah, so I don't know, tents. I think most of this area is going to be like convention center, almost exhibits kind of thing. And I think a lot of it might end up staying empty. It'll just be certain areas have exhibits and certain areas don't. And yeah, maybe the shoreline does need to look like this everywhere, and I need to start going through and detailing it to look like that, because I think that would make sense. That it all kind of looks like this, and it's not just this back area. But I'll talk to Skiv and Templin. So yeah, two things. Potentially setting up a build off for those little areas, and the shoreline. All right, guys. Just fun. Thanks for watching. Thank you again, Templin, for coming through after your stream. Take it easy, guys. See you all later.